Hello, my name is Tiara. I'll be doing a quick review of the film Parasite, produced by Joon-ho. If you see me looking over, I'm referring to my notes, but it's going to be from a sociological standpoint, so I'll just jump right into it. First off, the film does highlight not only is social, political, economical, and cultural class division something that causes animosity amongst groups, but it's a system that's built to keep the wealthy wealthier and keep the working class in sort of a trap of generational poverty. Both classes are making a lot of judgments about each other based on just their class alone, assuming that they did drugs, while the other was saying that they have no issues at all and that they're happy and they're oblivious to any problem because they are wealthy. Secondly, the wealthy family was only willing to hire people through word of mouth, through people who were from the same class as them, all the way down to the type of business card that was presented to make sure that it was coming from a company that was high class. And really credentials didn't matter because the mom who hired the son to be the tutor didn't even need to see the documents, only because of who recommended him. The title of the film, Parasite, is really a call to action, I believe, to the audience to make a determination on who or what is the parasite. I think the parasite is the system of classification itself, not a particular group or person. Because of the way that it functions, it's inevitable to blame one another. Some might say that the parasite was the man living in the bunker because he was basically using their resources for over 4 years. Some might say that the Kim family were the parasites because they scammed their way into those jobs. And others might say that the parasite was the wealthy family because they were exploiting the Kim family and having them perform job duties that weren't even in their description, and just being inconsiderate, having them do things at the last minute as well. The landscape stone, I think, represented class division as well. Really because of the way it was shaped. The stone had ridges that had different levels on it, and it also reminded me of the geographical locations between all the classes, from the bunker to the basement to the hills. And I noticed that they didn't represent any family that was living on street level. It went straight from basement to the hills, which tells me that they were trying to point out that the wealth gap is widening. The rain to me represents life experiences, things that are out of our control, like natural disasters, viruses. They really did a good job of illustrating how something so simple as rain how both groups can experience it differently, basically. The wealthy family had to cancel their camping trip, but was able to still sit in their beautiful home, in the privacy of their home, without any of their things getting damaged. The couple was able to be intimate, and the son was able to be out in the front and camp, while the poor family was struggling to salvage whatever they could of their home, and it was flooded with sewage. Not only theirs, but everyone else that was living in a semi-basement apartment. The rain illustration helps the audience understand that the problem is not the circumstances themselves, but the system that controls how we're equipped to respond to those circumstances. I think that the line represents the division between classes. That's what the line is. He makes it very clear he doesn't want to have any personal conversations. He wants to keep the small talk to a minimum. And the obvious one about the smell, he made a cruel joke about their smell crossing the line. The line is like, you're the servant and I'm the one who's being served, and you, because you work this job, this lower paying job, you need to stay in your lane. I don't believe that wealth can exist without poverty, as long as the playing field remains uneven and those who are getting those advantages want to continue receiving them. Since poverty and wealth are both generational, so is class division, and there will always be a disadvantage for someone. There are a few circumstances that I believe where it could kind of even the playing field a little bit. Some ways could be one, the systems and structures that are in place, if they are rebuilt to give equal access to resources to everyone, such as post-secondary education, personal tutors, safe, livable housing conditions, and extracurricular activities. If education requirements were not used as a means to create less competition amongst groups for jobs that don't even require degrees. An alternative to that would be increase on-the-job training and more free courses earned through work hours. Not necessarily working more hours, but earning more per hour in dollars and in education credits. Another way would be if families whose ancestors were affected by laws that were rooted in racial discrimination received compensation in the form of real estate, free education, and money to start their own businesses. Fourth would be if all jobs required the hiring and interview process to be done by a neutral third party, not a system that basically relied on social networking. Yeah, and that is that. Thank you.